The division in Europe just got even wider. Can you imagine? Jean-Claude Juncker, the president of the European Commission, calling national borders the worst invention politicians ever created. He goes on to ask countries to open up their borders to migrants, despite the recent spike of crime and the threat of terrorism throughout Europe. Our own Ashley Webster joins me now on Mr. Juncker's efforts there. And, you know, look, he's got a point. Well, I'll let you take it from there.
He's got a point. He's got a point that he's even more he's removed now from the general feeling in Europe more so. I think people calling for his job. The fact he says we should open up all the borders in Europe to show a sign of solidarity to the refugees. Never mind the fact that people don't feel safe in Europe. They feel their security is under attack, and that's why most European countries have strengthened their borders. This is why the UK got out of the EU and voted for Brexit.
I guess I see it as this. And when I say he's got a point, in that you either are the United States of Europe, right? And you just say, we are in this together, and we basically are going to, put our Alexander Hamilton hat on and all be one, or forget it. Right? Because you can't secure each and every country.
You can't, and that's what the rest of Europe is saying. Forget it. Because why on earth should... There was never meant to be...
So let me ask you this, okay?
It was never meant to be one happy family.
Well, I mean, think about all the different languages, right? I mean, the U.S. was different because, this wasn't an area that had been so established by many different nationalities that spoke different languages, et cetera. It was sort of, much more raw in that sense. So when you had different nationalities that came here, we could all be cohesive one.
Yes.
But you look at Europe, and, the French are very distinct from the Italians, and the Italians are very distinct from
the Germans.
From the Germans, and the same with the Brits, of which you're one. So
thank goodness we're an island. That's all I can say.
Do you think, realistically, that these cultures can ever...
Sorry, it was never meant to be the United States of Europe, with Brussels running everything, with Berlin pulling the strings. It was never meant to be that way. It was actually supposed to be a common market, a sharing of trade and goods, a united front on the economic side of things, never politically, where all these countries supposed to come together.
These economic integrations and one currency without a political sort of oversight that makes it one.
Therein is the failure of the euro.
I've never understood this. I've never understood
That's why the UK and Sweden and Denmark and Switzerland never wanted to use the euro. They knew it was doomed before it even began. Flawed. And then we have Jean-Claude Juncker saying, let's do away with borders. Terrible idea. Terrible politician's idea. I'm sorry. He needs to go.
All right, Ashley. Well, we'll see what happens over there, because I think that not just the economic
I feel like,
front,
Trish, it's the beginning of the end. I
think it is too. And this immigration issue, and just the millions of refugees that have flooded into Europe, that is actually going to be the tipping point. Because if I'm France or I'm Italy, I want those borders because I want to be safe right now.
Right.
Ashley, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
We'll be right back.